Uh, Welcome back to our login project. So in this tutorial for today, we shall now look into how we can design our login page. As in the last tutorial, we designed the home page. If you did not follow up with the home page, you can go back and visit our YouTube channel. That is the official channel for Canlight UG tutorials, and you will find a video you can follow up so that we can move at the same level. So in the designing of our page today, that is the login page, we shall basically use one of the frameworks that we use in front end, that is Bootstrap, to make sure that we design our form and it looks very nice and attractive, like how you can view it here on our screen right now. So I will visit, I will browse here from my Chrome. That is, I will search for Bootstrap, and it is bringing me Bootstrap 5. I will click it. This means that Bootstrap has different versions. Bootstrap had Bootstrap 3, Bootstrap version 4, version 5.0. I'm seeing 5.2, and very many other versions. You can make research about it. But for now, we can use Bootstrap 5.0. So if you click on it, it will load, and it tells us that Bootstrap is one of the most popular framework for building responsive mobile first sites. So if you want to build, your best front end, if you want to build best web pages, you can use this Bootstrap, which is one of the most popular frameworks that we use in web development. So how do we use Bootstrap in our development? We shall strictly get here. If you want to use it in designing CSS, we have here the documentation that says copy, paste the style sheet link into your head before all other style sheets to load our CSS. So we shall copy it as the documentation tells us, and we shall go back to our project that we had initiated earlier for our login project. That is, I've opened mine here in my VS Code. And if we check into our login page, actually we have nothing there. So we shall have to build everything from scratch when we are actually seeing how and where we've gone far. So our documentation had told us that we paste this link before any other style sheet in our page that we are going to design. And in our page here, we already have one style sheet link, that is our style.css, meaning we shall have to post this one up here so that this style sheet can get the styling from Bootstrap. So I will Ctrl V and I will save. Perfect. If I save, you see how it has appeared here on top, then this one has appeared down. So after us putting that link, since we shall use Bootstrap, we shall go straight to our body, and we design the body of our login page. But if we navigate back to our web browser, we realize that the same header that we have on home page is the same header that we have on login, and it's the same header that we have in register. That is for our complete project. But what do we need now? We need not to redesign this header. We shall just get the code from the login page and from the home page, and we shall paste it in the login page, that is in this HTML file, so that we can strictly dig into designing our form that we already have here in our complete project. For those who did not follow up in the last project, you can visit the last video that is posted in the Canlight UG tutorials. You can share, you can subscribe, so that you can always get timely videos that we upload in our channel. So let us go back here. We shall go back in our home.html, and we shall get this code that we use to design our header, and we shall post it. We shall paste it in the body of our login page. And if we navigate back and we refresh, let me open our project that is in Chrome. I will open it with Chrome. Yeah, this is what we had designed in the last video. So if you click on the login page, perfect, you find when the header has already come. But if you click on home, it takes you back. If you click, it takes you. If you click on register, it takes you on the register page that we have not yet designed, and we are looking forward to also reaching there. But currently, we are working with our login page, and that is our header. So I will go back to my VS Code. Since we have finished the header, we now need to design the form direct. So for designing the form, I will create the tag of form, that is the form tag. And I will first write all my HTML that I need for this project. And after writing the HTML, I will now go to coding bootstrap classes, so that we can have everything done in order. So after me creating my form, I will create definitely different div sections. That is, if we navigate back to our complete project, I realize I will create a div section that will hold this login form. I will create a div section that will hold this email, and a div for password, then a div for login. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 divs. So if I come here in our form, I will create 4 divs. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are our 4 divs. And in the first div, we shall create a label. That is a label tag. Oops. Label. Try to indent. My prettier has not worked. Let me set it. That is, I highlight. I go on format document. Oops. Yes. Format. Okay. I'm seeing my prettier here is not activated. If I control save, we have to reinstall prettier, but for now, it is showing me formatting completed. And I think my code has been formatted, because you see now prettier is now active, meaning it can make my code in a formatable way that we actually need to use. So we close this terminal and we go back to our project. So we had created a form, and in this form, we do not need that for attribute. We shall just, for now, we shall just put that it is a login form. Perfect. In the next div, we shall create a label and the input field, whereby in the label, it shall be for the name, and the input field, it's where we shall have to put the name. So I will create a label, and after that, in the label, it shall be for a name. Then I will create the input field, the input field, and in the input field, we shall put different things. That is, we shall have the type as name. Then we shall also have in the input field, after putting the type, we shall have maybe its name of the input field. Be clear so that the users can easily get what you mean. You put name, and from there, if we have the name, we can have the placeholder maybe to direct the user. That is, enter your name. Oops. Enter your name. Perfect. Yeah, that is it for this div. And in the next div, we shall have other two attributes, that is the label and the input, whereby the label shall be for password, and type. We can put, we remove this, all this. And for the password, the type shall be password, because we need to change this type. If you leave it as a name or text, here we can be name or text, but for the password, if you make it a text, it means it shall not be able to reflect it as a password. It will read it as a mere text. And in the last div, we shall create our button, and we shall say it is a login button. So this is the HTML that we have for now. I can Ctrl save, and if we go back to our project that we are working with, if I save, this is how my things have appeared here. So if we go back, check where we've pasted them and what could be the cause of them appearing, you realize that we've put them in one div. Let me close it, in a div section, whereby this containerized. So I will come here and I close that div. Perfect. Ctrl save. And if I close it, I go back and I refresh, boom, they will appear down here. But still we need to do a lot of work, that is styling them, which is not bad. Yeah, they can be styled, they will be worked upon. So let us dig deep into styling them. So we shall style them starting with our form. Where is it? I locked it here. We shall start from our form, and we shall give it some bootstrap classes. If you get time, you read about bootstrap classes, but we shall give it a margin top, because we can give it a margin left. We leave something like 5. Then margin top, on top, I can leave something like 3. Then we shall have to give it a style. Then we shall say we give it a border of 2 pixels. Oops, should be inside 2 pixels, solid black. True, but I don't want it to be all this black, so I'll give it some RGBA, something like this, of that color. Perfect. Yeah, I think that is it for our form. We can give it that design. We can Ctrl save, and we check in the browser to see what we've done, if it has happened. Perfect. I think you can now see that the form has been designed in that way. What we've put has just appeared. Perfect. So we go back. Now we can design our label. Yeah, for the div of our label, we can also give it some bootstrap classes. That is, I will say class, and I will give it a margin top. Yes, I can first give it a margin bottom of 3. Then I also give it some styling, because I also want it to look somehow nice. So I put style. Oops, style outside here. I'll give it a background color. Background color of which color we have, light. Can say maybe I can give it light gray compared to what we had. Yeah, it's almost the same. I think it will work for us. Then I will now design the label, because I don't want to put too much designs here. I will also give it some bootstrap class, and I give it a class of form label. form label. So I wanted to adopt, the form designs. That is, we see if I finish designing it, we shall load it and we see how it will look like. Then I will give it a margin left. I leave some 2, then margin top, something like 2 or 3. Let me put 2 for now. I think that is enough for it. If we go back in the browser and we refresh, perfect. You see how it has appeared, but in our complete project, it looks like there is a certain line lying here below the login form. So we can come here and also put some horizontal line. And we can also design it using Bootstrap. It's possible through giving it some Bootstrap classes. That is, I can now, let me just design it with normal HTML, CSS, with normal HCSS that we've always worked with, which is not something new to us because we've tried CSS in the last video. So we give it a background color, background color of black. Then I can also give it a height of maybe yes, a height of 2 pixels. Height, yeah, perfect. And I think if we refresh and we check back, our horizontal line has appeared. Perfect. So we can now go deep and we design the div with the label of name and its pressure and its input. That is where we shall input the name. So we start by designing the div. This div we shall have to give it some margin bottom. Oops, we call it class, then margin bottom of 2. Then we can give it a padding also of 2. Since we've given it padding 2, let me give margin bottom 3. Yes, perfect. Then we shall have to also design the label. I'll give it a class of form label. I just wanted to adopt a Bootstrap class for form label. Then after that, I can also add some other designs here in the input text, in the input field. For input field, we say the type of data that we shall be inputting shall be a text, and the name of the input is name. Actually, here we may use the name, or we can even remove it. It may not be all that necessary. Then we'll say the placeholder shall be what users will see, or what shall guide users will put enter username or enter your name. Then I can also give it some Bootstrap class of form control. If you get some time, you can read about these Bootstrap classes, but for now we can give it a Bootstrap class of form control. So if you navigate back and we check what we've done, you'll find it has actually been done perfectly. It has adopted the classes. You see when I click, it's different from this one. It has adopted some Bootstrap styling. That is what I was saying, that it's good to use Bootstrap. It has it has some pre-coded styles that we just import and we use in our codes. So the same thing as how we designed this one is the same thing like how we shall design this one. We shall also give it some class and we shall say margin bottom of 3, then padding of 2. Then we shall also design a label by giving it a class of form label, form label. Then we shall have to design the input. As we've said, the type shall be password because we need it to appear as a password. But for purposes of learning, let me first remove and I put text. If I Ctrl save and we check in our browser, If I click here and I put, it does not appear as a password. If I'm to magnify so that we can all see, you realize it is not appearing as a password. But if we go back in our code and we change this one to password, Ctrl save, I go back, I refresh, and if I put something, boom, it is now a password. So if you're designing a password, you give it a type of password. So that is what we are expected giving it here. Type as, password. So since it has now worked, we can continue designing our input field. From there, we shall also give it a class of form control. Class of form control. Form control. Yes, that is also a bootstrap class. And we Ctrl save. I go back to the browser, I refresh. Perfect. It has worked very well. Then from there, we shall now go back and we design our button, which is one of the last divs that we have here. We shall give it also bootstrap classes. That is, we shall give it margin bottom of 3, and we shall also give it a padding of 2. Then we shall now design a button, and we shall use bootstrap classes here, whereby we give it a class of button. I can say it is danger since it was red. Button danger. Ctrl save, and we go back to our browser. You realize the button has now turned to red. So what we have to do, we see our form is, clicking all this margin and this margin. I can come back to my code. We can actually give it, a div. We can give it a div section. Yeah, we are in login. We can give it a div section. Where is our form starting from? It is starting from here. Ctrl X dot login form. Can call it login form. Ctrl save. Then we shall give it a styling that we had used in the other form, that is width 80% and margin auto. I think since we've given it a same class name, it will have to adopt the styling, and boom, it has worked out. I think this is it for what we wanted for this video. Thanks for watching this video. We shall meet in the next video as we design the register page that we've not yet tackled. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and follow for more videos. Like and share so that we can link